Welcome. You have reached Imperial Reviews, and today's review is The Crow 2024. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So let's go over the cast. You got Bill Skarsgård plays as Eric. FKA Twigs plays as Shelly. Danny Huston plays as Vincent Rogue. Josette Simon plays as Sophia, which is the mother to Shelly. Laura Bim plays as Marion. Sammy Bajilia plays as Kronos. That's pretty much the main characters that you need to pay attention to in this film. And so this is a remake. We all know that's well, I can't say we all know. Uh, the late, Bruce Lee. Those of us that know about Bruce Lee had martial arts movies. He had a son, Brandon Lee, and Brandon Lee's last movie was The Crow, which good. He didn't finish The Crow. He died in the middle of making The Crow, and it wasn't touched since then. This is the reboot. The original came out, I think it was like 1994, somewhere around there. So you got Eric. Starts off, Eric is an addict, you know, and he's struggling from his childhood, and he has nightmares. He's at a rehabilitation center. He also is there with a musician named Shelly. Not yet. So what's taking place is you see Eric. He's in the rehab facilitation. You see people picking on him and stuff like that. So on the other scene, you see that there's um, Shelly. She receives a video from her friend Zadie that incriminates their criminal boss, Vincent Rogue, who's like supposed to be, he's a musical aristocrat, but that's on external. Internally, everybody knows he's a criminal lord. So Shelly tries to hide away from his goons, and in the process of getting away from the goons, she gets stopped by the cops, found with drugs. They put her in a rehab center. Meanwhile, her friend Zadie was captured, and you find out that Vincent Rogue, that he made a deal with the devil, sold his soul, that if he gives the devil innocent souls, he can live eternally. So that's what he does, so he could talk to them, make them commit suicide. So that's what he pretty much did to Zadie, made her kill herself. And in went Shelly into the rehab. She meets Eric. They become fond of one another. They bond. And then one day she's in a rehab. She sees her mother, Sophia, and she sees Marion, which is Vincent's right hand girl. So she instant asks Eric to help her escape. He helps her escape, of course, and when he helps her escape, he pretty much said he's tired of this place too. He's rehabilitated. So they get out, and Shelly goes to one of her friends' places who she had access to. When she goes to the friend's place she had access to, they end up staying there. Of course, they spend some time together, bond even harder, fall in love with one another, get tattoos, and just living this life. Eventually, the henchman catches up with Shelly, and when they catch up with her, put plastic bags over her head and killed her. Also, they killed Eric, but when they killed his soul was in between lines. So Eric's soul was in between lines. I said in between lines, in between worlds. And so because his soul he wasn't supposed to die from that scenario, he was given the opportunity, because of pure love that he loved for Shelly, he was given the opportunity to avenge her death. So he got this information from a spirit being named Kronos, and as long as he kept his love pure, he wouldn't be able to die, and he can go avenge her death. Now, of course, he don't have no fighting skills. His only skill is that he can rejuvenate like Wolverine, and he can't die no matter how much whatever you do, stab him, shoot him. He regenerates, but he can feel all the pain that a natural person would feel, but he'll rejuvenate and still be able to fight on. So that's his power at the moment, and that's what he uses to get revenge. However, while he's meeting different people, he runs into Shelly's mom. She tells him some things, and then Vincent Rowe came in, spoke to her, made her commit suicide as well, and he's trying to find this being that people say doesn't die. So he wants them powers. So Eric receives a text from somebody that basically shows Shelly was manipulated to kill a woman. So when he received that made him look differently of her. So his love wasn't for her, it wasn't pure anymore. So when the henchman of Vincent Rowe came in after him, he stood, thinking he was invincible. And when they shot him, pretty much they killed him again. So he died a second time. So he came and spoke to Kronos in the afterworld. And Kronos explained to him, your love wasn't pure anymore, so that's why you would die. So he pretty much said, no, this can't be. Pretty much he said Shelly's soul has went to hell because she was evil in what she had done, whatever. So he pretty much asked Kronos to switch his life for hers, give him the powers to go back on Earth and revenge her death. But when she becomes back alive, he'd switch her life and he'd go to hell. Now, I failed to mention that was also part of the agreement, because in the beginning that he he lived off of pure love, and if he would have avenged her death, that would bring her back to life. So now he gets the second chance to go at it, and now he feels like more stronger, and he's more on a war mission. So he comes back to life in the area where the henchmen had killed him at, and he fell in the bathtub. He came back up, and now this time he went on a war path, and he fought like he had some skills, and start really taking them out, blowing their heads off, stabbing them. So these fight scenes got better around this point. So now his mission is to find Vincent. So Vincent's somewhere at the opera, and so the word got led to Vincent, but he wasn't the one when they thought they killed him. But then he went to the opera where Vincent was, and he started killing out all Vincent men. This is what you see in the trailers, and he's basically taking all the bullets like Wolverine, but still taking the bullets and still running up on people, cutting them with swords, stabbing them in their neck, taking out all of Vincent's men. And so they let Vincent know that he is alive and he's on his way, and he pretty much is like, thanks for letting me know. And he's basically sacrificing all the people so that he can get the powers. So eventually Eric gets to Vincent. They have this back and forth, and he eventually grabs Eric, and he's sucking all the powers out of Eric. Meanwhile, Eric is going into a trance, and he having all the memories of his love for Shelly and what he was doing in rehab. And what this did was push him to fight back. And once he pushed him to fight back, he took Vincent into the afterlife world where he was in between that, and he killed Vincent. And what that did was brought back Shelly. He hugged Shelly, and for a brief moment they had like a little back and forth, little love moment, and he told her that he always loved her, but they wouldn't be able to be together. And she said, no, what do you mean? I'm going with you. And he's like, you can't. That wasn't part of the deal. So You know, of course they kissed, and after that, when she woke up, she was resuscitated at the time where they were killed at. She was resuscitated, and Kronos was there, acting like an EMT, and pretty much said, "Yo, he fought for you. He gave his life for you." And um, it showed Eric walking in the afterworld, pretty much saying, you know, their um, love for one another. He believed their souls will link together again, and pretty much he was saying that he was almost complete. So when he made that line, like he was almost complete, it kind of leads you to believe, like pretty much, like okay, there's going to be a he's leaving it for a part two, and that was pretty much the movie. So the last heavy scenes of the action doesn't really pick up till about, you know, 40 to 30 minutes left in the movie. Overall, a decent movie. If it does well, be interesting how they can make it more better storyline for part two. But it was okay. Out of my 4-star rating system, I give it a 2 out of 4 stars. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.